Hello and welcome to the Business Essentials Systems 2 series at noon. My name is Ada Kajimba and I am a business strategist and your host today. This week we've been talking about how to get organized in your life and in your business, and we are looking at the ultimate organizational tool, which is Google. On the second day, we talked about creating a Google account. And for the past 2 days, we have been exploring Gmail, which is Google Mail. And today, we are going to be talking about Google Calendar. And without further much ado, let me share my screen and we can, I can show you tips on how you can use the Google Calendar to make sure that your life is streamlined and your life you don't miss meetings at all. And to get into your Google Calendar, you can use calendar.google.com link to get into it. And so when it loads up, it takes us to the page where we can, sign into our account. And remember, we had created an account, and the name of the account is Tiama Demo. And so when you click on that, and then we're going to sign it. And once it loads up, you should be able to see something like this. This is what you're going to see, and this is the default look. Now, you can get this showing. It says welcome to, because we've never logged in, so it's showing you this welcome page to the new Google Calendar. And you can also access this on your Android and your iPhone. So just click on got it so that we can get out of there. And so it gives you this default page, which it makes things, by week. You can always change this view by going up there where it says week, and you can either change it to the day if you just want to see what you have going on in the day, or you can look at the month so that you know what you have going on in the whole month. And so by default, you always get some holidays here. So like, because I'm in Canada, it gives you default, Canadian holidays, and these are the ones in green. On Monday, October 8th is Thanksgiving Day, and you would see that around here where it says My Calendars. It will show you what color for whatever you create, and you can always change the colors. So the holidays in Canada, it shows green. And so whatever we create for Tiama Demo is going to be this blue. I am going to change that because, so, the colors are close by. So let us do, it says beetroot. Let's do this beetroot. So whatever we create for Tiama Demo will be beetroot. And then for birthdays, you can just change that. We can change that to what color? Let's choose tomato. It says tomato. So that is red. So whatever birthdays that you create is going to be in the red color. So, and then you have your reminders and stuff like that. And you can always, if I don't want to see the holidays in Canada, I could just, uncheck the box and then it disappears. It never shows up in your calendar anymore. And if you don't want the holidays at all, you can just go here and just unsubscribe from the Canadian holidays. You can just click this X, but I don't want to do that because I do like seeing those Canadian holidays. It just reminds you about things that you can see, in future. Now we're gonna go to, creating actual events, a calendar entry. Now there are two types of events in calendars. It's either a full day event or a time event. And to create an event, you just click on this plus. It says create event. Once you click on it, it now brings up this page. So let's add a title. Let's say meeting with the boss, right? And so you choose the date that you want the meeting to be. So let's put 24th of October. Why not? And so you can choose the day, the time. Let's put it at 9 a.m. Is it 9 a.m.? And let's to 10 a.m. It always makes your meetings 1 hour increments unless you specify. And then if it was an all day event, remember we talked about this, you click on all day, and so it removes the time. But because we're not creating an all day event, we can just remove, unclick that, and then it will tell you, is this meeting repeating? Does it repeat every day, or does it repeat weekly on this Wednesday, or monthly, or annually? If it's like a birthday, you can create annually. So for this one, let's make it weekly on Wednesday, so that, because I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So it says add location. You can say office conference room, and it's add conferencing. No, because this is a physical meeting. If it was a virtual meeting, you can either choose hangouts, or you can just choose no conferencing. Now this is something I like about the Google, this notification. With the notification, if you have Google on your mobile phone, you will get notification. Like, we set this one to 30 minutes, which is the default. It will tell you 30 minutes before the meeting that, hey, you have a meeting. Or if you don't have it on your phone, you can click it as an email, and it will send you an email at that 30-minute mark before the meeting. And this is something I like about calendar, and which is why I use it all the time. But I'm going to leave it at notification so that it can send it to your phone, because we always have our phone with us. And what I do, a rule of thumb that I do, so since this meeting is coming up in 2 weeks, what I do is I create another notification, and I created days. So you can choose hours or days, or even weeks ahead. So I like to choose a week ahead, so that a week ahead. Let's week, yeah. So I like to choose a week ahead of the meeting if it's far out in the future, and so that it can let me know. And then if it's like an event like that so far, I create another one, and I will choose another one a day ahead. So it tells me one day before, so that way I have everything complete. And so it tells you that. Then you see this color coding. It tells you what event this is supposed to be, and what color it is, and you can choose whatever it is. Is it on that either birthdays, or if it's a tax or something like that, it puts that. And then it has this option. Do you want it to create you as busy? So if it's something that you are in the office, it will be very, very important for you to put it as busy, so that when somebody wants to schedule, especially if you are an entrepreneur and somebody's looking at your calendar to create a meeting with you, when you put it as busy, then it's blocked off. Nobody's going to call you and disturb you at that time. And then this is another part that I like, add guests. So you see how this meeting is with the boss. Let's say you have a supervisor. You can add your supervisor in this, just to get them in, and you can give them permissions for what they can do, either modify the event. So if it's with your supervisor, let's say your annual review or your weekly review, and it's with your supervisor, so that if there's a change in time, your supervisor can modify the event. And what that does is actually it sends you an email to tell you that things have changed. And this is something I like about Google. Now let's click on, let me see, adding this guest. So you click on that. Let's just add. So it will show you different arrays of calendars that you can use to, add people in. And so, you can always choose any one of these, but I'm just going to get out of that, right? And so when you do this and when you're done, so yeah, so you got this and everything is complete. You just click on save. So when you click save, now you see here our meeting is here. It says, ask me later. So this is a meeting that we created. So we created it on the 24th of October, and we said we wanted it every third Wednesday. Is that third Wednesday? So let's go to the next month, which is November. And you would see every Wednesday we talked about this meeting happening on every Wednesday. And look at it, because we said it was a weekly meeting with your boss. And so if you look at this, it's showing all those meetings, and it will keep going unless you stop. Now, one thing you can do is, if this meeting was supposed to happen, because the meeting is going to keep going. Now, if this meeting was supposed to happen, let's say for 2 months. So let's click on the same meeting that we created before. And so you click on this edit event button. And so it takes you back to this place, and it says weekly on Wednesday. So what you can do if you want it to end at a particular time, you can go here, weekly on Wednesday, and you can click on custom. So it will say it repeats every week. You see this? It repeats every 1 week. So we said it weekly on Wednesdays, and then it asks you whether it ends. And you know here the option that was automatically chosen was never. You can actually click on yes, it does end, and then you will ask for what. When does this end? When does this meeting end? So let us put it in March. Give me a sec. No, not March. Let's put it in November. So let's say November 28th. That's the day that it will end. And I'll show you. And you click on done. And then you click on save. And it's gonna ask you, to edit this event. Is it for this one or for all events? And I always click on all events so that it cuts it off after November 28th. So here we have the October one. And then when we go like this, you'll see we have the 28th November one, but when we go to December, we can see that there's no meeting scheduled for December 5th because we ended it at November 28th. And this is the thing I like about Google Calendar. It just does this and just streamlines things for you. It gives you all these notifications so that you remember things and you are not always at loss for what to do and at what time. But it gives you all these notifications and things that when you see them, that everything is working out the way you want it to do. You don't want a situation if your daughter has a recital or any of your son has a soccer practice, you put it on your Google Calendar, putting it on there. You put the notification and it reminds you. And I tell people there is never too much notifications. Put as much as you need because you never know which one would remind you. I sometimes when I have a meeting, a call with a client, 10 minutes before the call, I put a notification for myself. And that's to tell me, okay, this is the time you have to settle down and put things in order and make sure that you are ready for your clients. And I just want to thank you for today. Next, we're going to continue with this series because there are other Google products that we're going to talk about. And just give me a second. Let me show you something about Google that I love, 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 love so much. I never showed you this. If you look at every Google product, there is this, should I call it like a keyboard or something? It's Google Apps. And then when you click on it, it shows you different apps for the Google that you can get with Google. And so the next one that we're going to do, we're either going to tackle the maps or YouTube. I know people say YouTube, but I will show you some tips on how to use YouTube, and then we can tackle on all these other ones. So we've done the Gmail, we've done the Google Calendar, or we can do the contacts. So we'll do the contacts, we'll do the drive, and we'll do all of this next week so that you can get everything that Google has to offer and so that you are on top of it. And I just want to thank you for just being with me throughout this week in this series. And I hope that you've learned something. Like I said, always ask questions. Let me know what your questions are. And, anything that if you're having problems getting to figuring things out, send me a message and I will get your messages and I'll reply. Give me 24 hours and I'll reply as soon as I get them in 24 hours. And I love you for watching. Thank you so much. Bye.